How does the thought experiment experience machine created by Robert Nozick in the 1970s have a major prevalence in the society of today?
What kind of a peace do I mean, and what kind of a peace do we seek?
In 1974, Robert Nozick, a Harvard professor, in his book titled Anarchy, State and Utopia and the Examined Life, came up with a thought experiment named the Experience Machine, which would go on to show, in my opinion, why there is a fear in modern day society and plagued throughout human history of innovations in technology, which for many appear to intrude on our basic humanity. Nozick asks us to put ourselves in the situation that if you've been given the opportunity to plug into a machine, this machine will give any individual the perfect experience they desire, but this machine will be a simulation of that experience, and once you've plugged in, you will forget about it. Nozick built his argument on the premise that most would choose not to enter the machine, as whilst indeed it would give the person an amazing experience, if for some profound reason does not sit right. For Nozick, it was that humans do not hold pleasure as the ultimate value, and would not choose to give up all other experiences in life for one sole pleasure. This was indeed what Nozick created the experiment to do: end the ethical argument that the ultimate well-being of a human is to seek pleasure and avoid suffering, and he does so by showcasing the experience machine is the epitome of this thought, and yet most would choose not to engage in the machine, and so showcases how this thought is false. The notion that seeking pleasure and avoiding suffering is the ultimate well-being is called hedonism. It is believed to be first started by Aristippus of Cyrene, who was a student of Socrates. He held the notion that pleasure is the highest good, though this thought is also scattered throughout history, being found in Babylonian version of the Epic of Gilgamesh, which was written only just after the invention of writing itself. In this version, Sujuri, a wise female divinity, states, "Fill your belly, day and night make merry, let days be full of joy, dance and make music day and night, these things alone are the concern of men." This passage from Gilgamesh showcases how hedonism can be found throughout society and in history for thousands of years. But how does all this have prevalence any more than it ever has? Well, while in the last 150 years human technology has advanced exponentially, it appears that it's about to hit its first involvement in humanity's cognitive thought and existence, if it already hasn't. In 2016, Elon Musk, alongside a group of fellow inventors and entrepreneurs, founded the company Neuralink, which has begun to develop implantable brain-machine interfaces. Now, whilst this sounds like something out of a H.G. Wells book, and automatically takes you in an image of being tied down to a chair and experimented on, it may very well be an innovation which, like the cell phone or the internet, goes on to have a fundamentally positive effect on the development of society and the human race itself. Musk has stated that Neuralink will be able to help paraplegics use a phone or click a mouse without touch, and this sounds like an amazing idea which can help bring a better experience to those that have not been able to access certain things in their life. But where this takes a more dark and hedonistic perspective is when, on episode 1470 of the Joe Rogan podcast, Elon Musk claimed that he believes that eventually we will have a technology to download memories and communicate without speaking, to which Joe showed the shock of all the listeners at home. Now, why this is such a scary notion is that it appears to support and reinforce the simulation hypothesis, which thus threatens what we believe to be our lives in humanity. This issue is another in which Musk is significant in, with him going as far to say that he believes it to be more likely than not. Though this idea of a simulation goes as far back